gotta do it. Yo, 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 what's up? This is the gentleman, judge, innovation, girl, Jenna. Peach capital, the state, baby, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Well, what's up, Impala J? Get to work and stop slacking. Hold on, boys and girls. I've been on the grind. I done shedded some clothes, done shedded some shoes. Man, I'm in a tank top and I'm barefooted. I told y'all it wouldn't take long. I'd be barefooted. Be barefooted. Yes, sir. I'll catch up on the chat here in a second. Man, this seat right here needs some cushion. Need some cushion for the pushing. Man, that's like one of them bony ass girls, man. I need something to push back. Come on now. Come on now. All right, boys and girls. Let me show you what we're living with. Let me show you what we're living with. I'm glad everybody tapped back in. This morning's live was crazy. You boys and girls, y'all showed out this morning. Y'all showed out this morning. I greatly appreciate it. I had a lot of stuff going on. I've had like 3 visitors. After that first live, I had 3 visitors. Good visitors. Good visitors. So we got some stuff in the works. That's what I'm talking about, boys and girls. That's what I'm talking about. Got some stuff in the works. But let me show you what we got going on other than barefoot. I told you I was barefooted. All right, boys and girls. So let me tell you what I did. I took that daggone air hammer right there. I took that air hammer and I said, look, I'm done playing with you. I'm done foreplaying. I'm done. I'm done. We meaning business. And it got all scared and it hopped out. It hopped out. No, it didn't hop out. But I got up here with that air hammer and I put that son of a gun on there and I said, I put a little short. I did a little short for y'all. I did a little short. Did a little short for y'all. Zipped it out. Zipped it out. I ripped it right on out. Let me show you. Let me live with you. Look, boy, I pulled that right there. Anybody worked on an old school? Y'all have messed with that shit right there. That shit right there just deteriorates. And that right there, let me give you a little secret. Let me give you a little secret. If you do any camping, if you go camping or anything like that, take this stuff right here, tear it up, shred it apart, put it in a Ziploc bag. Why is that? Take this right here, shred it apart, put it in a Ziploc bag. That right there is a fire starter. Fire starter. Right there it is. Right there it is. I put that daggone air hammer on there, boys and girls, and zipped right on through that. I zipped through that thing like prom night. Sure did. It didn't even know what happened. Didn't even know what happened. I zipped through it like prom night. Whew. Shoo. Man, I was in there so fast I didn't even know what hit them. Then I took the air hammer. Come on, let me live with you. Let me live with you. Let me live with you. Then, if y'all go back and watch the little short, I took that air hammer and I got in there and look. Spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, spot weld, spot weld. We got that off. And then we took the grinder with the flapper wheel. Flapper wheel. We took the flapper wheel and we got up in here and we cleaned that up. Cleaned it up. Cleaned it up. Lock them up. Lock them up. Then there's the new improved. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We on our way to 10,000, boys and girls. We on our way to 10,000. We on our way to what? What we on our way to? We on our way to 10,000. We on our way to 10,000, boys and girls. 10,000. We on our way to 10,000. We almost there. We almost there, boys and girls. We almost there. I'll catch up on the chat here in a second. So that's in there. But let me ask y'all, let me tell you something. Let me live with you for a second. All right, there is nothing, there's no butyl tape, there's no nothing. Nothing. It's dry. And according to the instructions, nothing goes around this right here for a tight seal. We like it tight. We like it tight. Tight seal. So I pushed it all the way up to it. I pushed it up as far as it would go. And then I put some self-tapping screws, and that thing is secured like nobody's business. So I'm thinking maybe I get me a roll of butyl tape. Now I'm just thinking out the box here. I don't know. It probably don't matter. But, you know, your duct work underneath your house is sealed. You know, if you got leaks, then you lose pressure. If you lose pressure, you lose airflow. You lose airflow, you lose efficiency. So my brain is out here running wide open. So I'm thinking about getting some butyl tape after it's all said and done, and run some butyl tape around this flange on the outside to kind of seal it, so we can have a good sealage, right? Good sealage. I don't even know if that's a word. Is that a word? Sealage? I don't even think that's a word. I don't even think that's a word. But anyways, nevertheless, it sounded good. It sounded good. It sounded good. So, or at least it keep. Well, I don't think it'll rattle. I don't think it'll rattle. I don't think it'll rattle. I feel like Marilyn Monroe. Wind up my dress. Everything is, yeah. All right. All right. So we got that part. Man, I feel like I'm sitting in the back seat in this song. Let me scoot up a little bit. All right. All right, so somebody's been here before, of course, which we're aware of that. So I got in here and I got to looking. I started cutting. Well, I didn't cut nothing. They had wires already zip tied, right? They already had wires zip tied up like this right here, right? So what I've been doing is I've been going through here looking and seeing what they got, or what they have, or what they don't have. Remember we was talking about this wire a while ago? Well, I just tore the tag off of it, which I know what it is. It says passenger switch door. So that tells me it's that switch over there. So when that switch opens, it completes the ground and the interior light comes on. But y'all see interior? Do y'all see an interior light? I don't see one. Do y'all see one? Is that one of them invisible interior lights? I don't see one. So I don't know what it's activating. But there ain't no interior light in here. So that's that. So that's what that is. So what we're going to do, what we have here is a failure to communicate. So failure to communicate. This, it identifies as a headliner. All right, so you see these little straps right here? That's for the wiring harness strap. All right, all right. Well. They actually cut the wires too daggone short, so you can't really get them up real high. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do on that, because we really don't want to have to rewire every single thing. Lord have mercy, Jimmy Crack Corn. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Jimmy Crack Corn and I don't care. Georgie Porgy Pie in his girlfriend's eye, that thing swelled shut. He still, that one eye, yeah, you know what I'm saying. All right, so what we're gonna do is and And this wire right here, this white one, why's it gotta be white? Well, it ain't even hooked up. So this wire right here ain't even hooked up. So we don't even know what that one even identified to go to, but it runs down there, runs in underneath the carpet. So we're gonna have to figure that one out. I did figure out what this one was. Look, check this out. Y'all see this wire right here? Y'all see this wire? See that? Do y'all see that? That looks like some nose hair. That looks like somebody's nostril hair, don't it? Y'all see that right there? Y'all see that? I'm asking you, do you see it? Do you see it? Are we having a failure? Oh, god dang, boy, the message just popped in. Ireland. I want to go to Ireland. You see that wire right there? Watch this. I drug this wire. This wire got drug across the floor and it hit a ground. Now, everything's ground because the battery in the truck. The battery in the trunk is grounded to the chassis and everything else, right? Now, watch this. Y'all listen. This tells you got a good ground. Listen. Y'all listen. Y'all hear that? Listen, 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 listen. Shh, everybody be quiet. Turn up your headphones. Everybody listen, listen. That is the damn wire. Now, where in the world did it? No, it ain't the fuel pump. It's the compressors for the air ride. That's the compressors for the air ride. Where in the hell did that wire come from? So, nevertheless, this little bitty speaker wire, somebody used that's a speaker wire that they have used. Lord have mercy. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. But anyways, it's okay. It's all good. All good in the neighborhood. So we don't know what this white wire is. We don't know what this white wire is. And if the client's watching, don't get discouraged. I'll get you all squared away. I know the client's probably watching. He's a YouTuber, but he don't comment. But if the client is watching this video on your car, don't get discouraged. It's in hands. It's in the doctor's hands. I will take care of it. I will take care of it. I promise you. It'll be all good in the neighborhood. All right. Now, this wire right here, y'all get educated. Y'all get a pencil and piece of paper because I'm going to tell you something. Most of the time on aftermarket wiring harnesses, the white wire or the cream wire, cream, pink cookies in a cream bag. So you got the cream wire and the orange wire is normally, everything's based off of a GM aftermarket wiring harness. Normally, not all the time, but normally, the white wire and the orange wire is the interior light. See that? See that? See that? That is a grommet for maybe the glove box, but the glove box don't have no box. And why was it called a glove box? Very interesting. Why was a glove box called a glove box? Anybody want to know? Anybody want to know? Anybody know why it was called a glove box? So this right here is orange and white. So we're going to pull this on out of here. We're going to label these wires. I already know what this one is. All right. This one right here, orange and white. Orange and white. To store your driving gloves. That's right, Nathan. To store your driving gloves. You know what? I'm going to let the front of this car down a little bit because this door keeps coming out. Let's let the front down a little bit. Let's let it down. All right, we let the front down. We let the front down a little bit. We let the little air out of the airbag, so that puts a little bit of pressure on the door because that some gun keeps, see where I've been putting my foot on it? I got to clean that. But anyways, it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Now, boys and girls, now the fun part comes. Now we're going to start deciphering what in the Jimmy Crack corn they got going on down here. So it has an aftermarket wiring harness, because you can see right there, because a 1963 Impala had the little glass style fuse box. All right. And if you're not familiar with that, if you're not familiar with that, I'll show you. A 1963 Impala, all your older cars had the glass style fuse box like that. Right there. See? That's what this car is supposed to have in it. But somebody's updated it over the time, which is great, but they didn't finish it for whatever reason. It's okay. It's fine. It's not a problem. So it says attach the violet wire to the switch. Attach the violet wire to a switch power source. And that's for the AC system, right? But we got to, figure out what in the world is going on with everything else. So these are the wires that's going to the back of the car. And you see they just run them right over that sharp edge right there. So over time, wiggle, 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 wiggle. I like it when she wiggle, wiggle, wiggles. So what it'll do is it'll short the ground, and that's not good. Or short the ground or short the hot. Either way you want to call it, not good at all. So we'll put some wire loom around this section right here, and then we will we might even go as far as to take like a 5/8 heater hose and split the heater hose, wrap these wires in a wire loom. And I use Alex Flex off of Amazon. They're actually for TV stuff, and they're really, really nice. You get them like in 25-foot rolls. You can get it in 1/2 inch, or you can get it in 1 inch. That's what she said. 1/2 inch or 1 inch. Come on, don't do it. So we'll put probably 1/2 inch around this, and then I'll probably take some 5/8 heater hose, split the heater hose, and then split the heater hose, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches, right? And then slide the heater hose over it, and then zip tie both ends, and put the slit at the top, and put the rubber at the bottom, so it kind of gives it that little bit of extra protection for wiggling back and forth. Even if you put it in a wire loom, it's still going to wiggle back and forth, and over time it would probably cut through the wire loom. So if you put like a 5/8 heater hose, split it down the middle, make it open like a taco, slide it over it, and then put a zip tie on it to keep it from sliding, and then put it back down on there like that, you'll be good. Easy peasy, cheesy, greasy. You can buy split sleeve right. That's what I just said. I just said that. Yeah, it's called Alex Flex. You can buy split sleeve wrap around those wires, protect them forever. It won't protect them forever. Nothing is protected forever if you're rubbing across a hard surface. If I sit here and do this right here with my finger over and over again, my finger's protected by the skin. That's my first line of defense. But that's metal. That metal is harder than my finger. If I sit here and do this over and over again, repetitious, over and over, over and over, my finger is not going to wire out that metal. That metal's going to wire out my finger, right? So, just saying. But that's what I said. Also, you can take a water hose and you can pour it on this concrete and just let the water run on this concrete all day long, every day, all day, every day. And it won't ever do nothing to the concrete. But if I set it up where the water drips, drip, 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 over time, and I mean a lot of time, it will actually cut a hole in the concrete. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, boys and girls. Let's been on here 21 minutes. Let's go through these wires and see what we got on here. All right, so this wire right here is labeled. This is the fun part. This is what everybody loves. Everybody loves doing this. All right, that one right there says fan. All right, that gray one says fan. I bet this one says fan. I bet that one says fan too. Yep, fan. Well, hell, there's two big ones. Here, there's a third one. All right, well, that's interesting. So, this one right here, this says 10 gauge wire. It's got a 10 on it, so I'm going to let y'all know something. There's a 10 right there, right? So that means 10 gauge. 10 gauge wire, fan, power. So that says fan power. Barefoot in another man's car is crazy work. Why? Why? Then you got no, that ain't what that means. That ain't a 10 gauge wire. I bet that's circuit 10. I don't know what the 10 means. I was just speculating. I was wrong. But that says fan. Y'all can't see it, but it says fan power. Fan power. This one right here just says fan. That one says fan. So that says fan. All right, boys and girls, fan. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna label this stuff. We're gonna label it. We're gonna label this stuff. We're gonna label it, and then we're gonna label it. I already said that, didn't I? That was like a word salad, wasn't it? I got a cactus blooming. Mac, I know you're not on here. Mac, all dressed in black. So we're gonna write on here fan. We're just gonna write fan 1. All I know, Mac, I know Carolina, it's hot. Fan 1. I don't know if it's fan 1, but we're gonna label it fan 1 for now. Fan 1. We're gonna take this right here, boys and girls, and we're gonna label this right here on the end. So this is how I got it labeled. Fan 1. We're gonna take that right there. We're gonna put it on that, like so. And then we're gonna fold it. Fan 1. All right, we're gonna do the other one. We'll do it a little different. We'll write it at the top. Fan 2. So we're gonna go through here and we're gonna label all these wires that we can label. Fan 2. We're gonna go through here and we're gonna label everything we can label. Fan 2. Fan 2. Now this one over here, this other one. So let's do this. No, we can't do it like that because y'all can't see. So this other one, it says fan power. I don't know if that's the power wire that's supposed to go to the relay, or I don't know, because I don't know this wiring harness. So we're gonna figure it out. So we're gonna write fan power. Fan power. Fan power. Hey, I'll tell you one thing, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We don't deal in politics on this channel. We don't deal in religion. If that's something you want to do, you can take it elsewhere. And everybody with the blue wrenches, that's security. If you're on here acting crazy, they will get rid of you. They will send you packing. All right. This one right here says power antenna. Power antenna. This is not the fun part. This is what nobody wants to do. So this one says power antenna, but it says power antenna. This car does not have a power antenna. But maybe, just maybe, we can use this wire to power something else. And we just have to make a mental note of whatever we're doing, that this wire here, this circuit here, is not for a power antenna, because this car does not have power antenna. But maybe we can use this wire to power something else. You know, we don't know. We'll get there when we get there. So we got that one right there. So even though it says power antenna, this car don't have a power antenna. Maybe we can use it for something else. We don't know yet. We're just trying to figure out what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? All right, look here. Well, this is great. AC compressor. Well, that's a good one. So that means that this one right here is our power for our AC compressor when we get the engine in there. Come on now. AC 12 volt. So that's good to know. We got a power wire for our AC. Now, this might be AC compressor. Now it might be a ground wire or it might be a power wire. I don't know. We'll have to check when we put power back to the car on the circuit board. We'll have to check. Man, I need a fan. We'll have to check when we hook the power back up to see. You know it's hot when I done busted out a rag, a sweat rag. So that's that one. Wiring scares me. You know what else? Wiring scares you. Why does it scare you? Look at her. This one right here. Radio 12 volt constant power. Here's our power wire for our radio that was not hooked up. So this is going to be 12 volt radio. I'm going to show you all this when I get done. I just can't. I don't want to put the phone in the floor and then you looking up at me like like you down below. Y'all see that fly? Shoot fly, don't bother me. 12 volt radio. This is what we're doing if you're here. If you're new, hit the subscribe. Don't worry about the feet. Don't worry about the feet. So somebody's already put an aftermarket wiring harness in here. So this right here, somebody has put an aftermarket wiring harness in here. And I'm unzip tying the wires. And we're labeling them because we're going to put a new engine in this car. And we got to get the gauges to work. The radio didn't work. We got to put this new air conditioner system in. So there is a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we got to do. All right, this one right here says cruise power. Cruise? We ain't got no stinking cruise. but we're going to label it. So with that being said, there's another circuit that we could use for something else. So we got a 12 volt cruise. So we're going to label that one. So if we need another, we're not going to need a lot of power in this vehicle. I mean, honestly, it don't have power windows. It don't have cruise control. I mean, we could put cruise control on it. I mean, but you know what I'm saying? So that pink wire, he said pink, says power cruise control. Blow, baby, blow. Boy, that wind blowing, that feels so good. That feels so good. Blow, baby, blow. Y'all want me to put the phone in the floor so y'all can see what I'm doing? Y'all want to be down there? Y'all want to ride down there in the bottom? Y'all want to ride down there? 12 volt cruise. So we got that one. All right, this purple wire. Goddamn, I thought we done had that. Now that makes no sense. This one right here says power antenna. Power antenna. I wonder, since we have two power antenna wires, I wonder if it's because they ordered this thing for a 63 Impala and some 63 Impalas had dual power antennas. How about that? So we got two power antenna wires. So we got to label this one. This car don't have power antennas. I don't think. I don't think it's got power antennas. It don't look like it's got power antennas. We'll just have to look and see. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, the car's got antennas on it, but I don't know if they're power. We'll have to check them out and see. But we're going to label this one too. So we got two power antenna wires. Oh, the lovely world of electrical. 12 volt power antenna. All right, so that's that one. All right, we got a red one. We already done that one. All right, let's see what else we got. We done that one. All right, so here's a gray one. We've already done that one. That's fan 1, I guess, and fan 2. All right, so here's a red one. Here's a red wire. What in the damn... Man, this thing's got double of everything. This one right here says, y'all ain't gonna believe this, man. Let me let y'all live with me for a second. This one right here says 12 volt. Hold on a second. This one says 12 volt constant radio power. This one says 12 volt radio ignition. Oh, yeah. Yeah, ain't nothing painless about this. Going behind, checking it all out. No diagram, no instruction book. Don't know the model of the part. Don't know anything. So this one said fan. All right, let's see. Let's see what this one says. We might even know how to cut this one loose. What's this one say? That sun gun right there. Come on, let's get down here. Let me live with you. Let me live with you. Let me live with you for a second. Come on. Come on. power window. We don't need no power window. What's that one right there? What's that say? What the hell does that say? That sounded like it said coolant. Come on, let me live with you. Let me get down there and look and see what the sun gun says. I'm fixing to be like the damn frog. I'm fixing to eat that fly. Let me lick it. Let me lick the dirt off of it. Oh, power door locks. We ain't got no power door locks. So these right here that we ain't even gonna un them some guns right there. So that's power windows and power locks. We're not even messing with that. What's that one right there? Hold on, let me live with you. Come here, let me hold you for a minute. I just want to hold you for a minute. You don't want to cuddle? Hell no, I don't want to cuddle. If I wanted to cuddle, I'd buy a damn dog. Tack. Now look here, they had that monster tack in here thinking they was in the Need for Speed, Fast and the Furious, and they didn't even have the damn tack wire hooked up. Come on now. All right. So we good on that. So we got all this. We got all this labeled up. So we labeled up, strapped up, booted up. All right, boys and girls, let me get back up here. Let me get back up here. All right, now that's that. Oh, we got one head back here, boys and girls. We got one head back here. Yeah, let me be like a frog, man. Let me be like a frog. I'll be gobbled it up. Bust out that frog tongue. Grab that bug. Now, what in the world is this one? It's orange. Aren't you glad I got you? We're probably going to have to... Uh-oh. There's a little bit of words right there. Little bit of words. Little bit of words. I guess I'm going to have to zip it out. I guess I'm going to have to zip it out, fam. I apologize. I do. I really do. I know. Between a rock and a hard spot. Let me get in here. I feel like a dentist. Make sure. Which wire are you going to cut, Jay? I'm going to cut the one that I need to cut. But is it the right one? I don't know if it's the right one or not, but we're going to cut it. Let me live with you. Let me live with you. Did somebody say John? Is John in here? John Buchanan Auto Sales. Just toss us all around. We just giggle and yell. Whee! That's what I'm talking about. Third brake light. Third brake light. We got 900 foot of wire for a third brake light. We definitely don't, a third brake light. I'm good, man. Third brake light. We are, John, we are deciphering this wiring harness barefooted. I need my fan right over there. We done got the vintage air louver up there. So we are going through this wiring harness that somebody already put in the car, and we're checking out what we got, and we're unrolling it. If we need it, unroll it. But we don't need these two, because this is power windows and power locks. And what was this one, y'all? What was the purple one? Y'all remember what the purple one was? What was the purple one? Anybody remember? Tack. The tack. So power windows, power locks, and tack. We've already went through all these and labeled them. And we've been labeling them. Fan. So we're just going through the wiring harness. Seeing what they got. They've already updated the wiring harness, but none of it was hooked up. I mean, hell, the alternator wire wasn't even hooked up. So I'm really baffled, but I'm not really going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what in the hell they had going on and what they didn't have going on. So that's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm here. So this right here is a third brake light. I don't know if we can't use that for nothing else because it's hooked up through the brake light switch. So if we hook this to something else for power, it wouldn't work out. Where's my Sharpie? If we use this for an alternative power source, it wouldn't work out because every time you push the brakes, it would work. Now, we could do this. We could do this. Yeah, John, you got it. We could do this. We could wire this up. Hey, check this out. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. We on our way to 10,000, baby. 10,000. 10,000 subs. So I'm trying to make it interesting, fun, comical, uplifting, and motivation. They ain't no fuss, no muss over here. No politics, no religion, and no more feeling sorry for yourself and why, cry, you know. So here's the thing about this third brake light. Y'all check this out. So in theory, John, check this out, John. John, you would like this. Yeah, John would like this. So this is wired up through the brake light switch, right? So the brake light switch is actually, where's that sun gun at? Right there. Y'all see that right there? Y'all see that? That's the brake light switch. See that? So when you push the pedal, the brake light switch opens up and the brake lights come on, right? When you do that, the lights go out. So when you put your foot on the brake, on a GM, that's the brake light switch. Well, you can use that switch for a lot of things. That switch, you can use it for a lot of different activators, right? So I put my foot on the brake, the lights come on. I take my foot off the brake, the light goes off. Now check this out, boys and girls. So check this out. We could take this wire right here because this car don't have a third brake light, right? Because it's a 63 Impala, right? We could take this light, John Buchanan. We could take this brake light switch, and since this thing got air right on it, we could get some air horns, like some train horns, and we could wire this up. We could wire this up to the solenoid that activates the horn, right? Yeah, we could take this right here. We could take this right. Yeah, we could take this wire right here and wire it up to the solenoid that activates the train horn. So that means every time you put your foot on the brake, this thing would activate the solenoid which activates the air to go to a train horn. And every time you put your foot on the brake, the damn train horn would blow. So every time he put his foot on the brake, the train horn would whoomp, like, get out of the way, horn broke, watch for the finger. Or like John says, you could wire it up to the electric choke, and every time you put your foot on the brake, the electric choke would come on the engine and choke the engine down. You could do that. No, I'm sober as they be, man. I don't do none of that crap. I was gonna say hook it to the high beams, but I like the train horn better. Yeah. So this is the third brake light. Third brake light. So that's about it on there. So we got all that figured out. Now, y'all remember this wire right here was hooked up to the distributor because this thing had an HEI distributor, and somebody went ahead and somebody wrote power on it. This was hooked up to the HEI distributor. And this comes around. Let's see where this goes. This goes up. This is it right here. So this was hooked up to the distributor, if y'all remember that. I remember that part. That was hooked up to the distributor. And then, well, they did half-ass label it a little bit right there. Boy, that tape they used, whatever they used, that shit's brick. Well, that don't look good. That don't look good. I don't know what that went to, but that don't look good. All right, we got 2 green ones. All right, let me set the camera down. Yeah. Backup power. Yeah, they didn't need that plug. Backup power. I'm trying to read what this says. All right, y'all can't see this, but this one right here. Hold on. Let me turn this around. This one right here, this green wire right here says backup power. Right? Backup power. And then this one says left backup. So I'm going to say that this is maybe the backup lights. Possibility. Possibility. Did this car even have backup lights? I know some cars don't even have backup lights. I know my 54 didn't have backup lights. It was an add-on option. Nope. Oh yeah, it does. Right there. Backup lights. Right there. So interesting. All right, so let's label them. We almost been on here for 60 minutes. Y'all know I like to do 60-minute lives, and I know this one ain't exciting. And we are going to do some bed lining on those inner fenders. We are going to do that today too, so y'all stay tuned on that. So we are going to get the inner fenders. I'll get them out. I'll get them scotched. I'll get them sanded, and then we'll mix up some bed liner or undercoating, whatever you want to call it, and then we'll spray that. But I won't bore you through. I won't bore you through the prep part of that. I'll tell you what I did after I get it ready, but we'll come live here. It'll probably be after a while, and then we will spray some bed liner. Backup power. So that's that one. So we're gonna label this one backup power. So that's that one. That says left. Hey, TJ, you still on here? TJ, my guy, TJ. All right, TJ, how's the welding going, TJ? Have you practiced any more today? So just do small intervals, right? Let me show you. Just do small intervals, right? So let me get out of here and I'll show you. That was the last 2 wires, boys and girls. That was the last 2 wires on that. So the last little bit, we're gonna help TJ out a little bit, and then I'll get everything ready for the. Then I got to come out here and I got to decipher these. Got to decipher these, but we're not gonna do that now. I do already know this part. This one right here. This one says the alternator, exciter wire, and then this one right here was it's 12 volt for something, and then this one right here says starter wire. So then wasn't even hooked up, but the car ran, and then that right there is a ground. So I do know that one. So we're not gonna bore you. We're not gonna bore you with that. But let's take this last little bit. Let me go in here and turn the lights on and try to see if we can kind of give TJ a little bit of visual advice, a little bit. All right, so when you're welding thin sheet metal, you have to control a lot of variables, right? So with thin sheet metal, you got to have little heat and a lot of wire, but you got to have enough wire. You got to have enough wire to fill in what you're filling and enough heat to melt the wire to get to where you need to get. But here's the problem. So the problem is when you're welding, and let's say you have this crack, say you welding 2 pieces together or a patch or whatever you're doing, and you're welding and you try to start welding and you're welding continuously, right? You're welding continuously. The problem that you're running into is you're generating heat, right? You're generating heat. So the whole time you're running, the metal is heating up, right? It's getting hotter and hotter. Well, if you're dealing with really thin metal, you're going to have a blowout, right? You're going to have a hole. And then you're going to be chasing that hole, and that hole is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So with thin sheet metal, and plus you're using flux. So flux is a little bit more challenging than using gas, right? So the flux is what's protecting the weld, and you come back with your chipping hammer and you chip it off. If you were using a gas, then the nozzle, this is your nozzle, and then you got your welding wire, right? The gas coming out of the nozzle is shielding your welds from the outside contaminants, right? When you're using flux, there is no gas. The wire has flux on it, and the flux is melting or burning off, and it is creating a gas of itself, and it's protecting your welds, right? So it's kind of difficult or kind of hard to see what's going on because you have the flux that's in your way. So what you have to do, I do it with gas. I do it with gas anyway. What you're going to have to do is you're either going to have to start welding, and then as you're going to have to speed up. You're going to have to be faster than the heat in the metal. Well, if you're dealing with thin sheet metal, 18 gauge, it's going to be hard to do that. So the best thing to do is do on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. So basically what you need to do, TJ, is what I was explaining to you in that text. When you text me, you need to on, off, and I mean like 3 to 5 seconds, in your head, go on, off, 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 on, off. And what you want to do is I'm going to make it big so you can see. That's what she said. I'm going to make it big so you can see. So your first tack, the second tack, you want to kind of overlap it, right? So you don't have no holes in between. If you do a tack and then do a tack, then you got that void in between it. And then you're going to have to come back and you have to do another tack and another tack. And it takes a lot of practice. I mean, a lot of practice. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, and I still, sometimes when the gas gets out of the way, shit gets porous or porosity, and it's like, oh, you sack of monkey junk. You know, just, I mean, you're always going to have any issues. The damn air compressor come on. So, but when you're doing your tacks, right, say you got a panel, right? You got this panel, and then you got this panel, right? And you're doing a butt weld, right? And a butt weld is two panels put together, right? What you want to do is you want to tack it real good on the end, tack it real good in the middle, do this end first, do this end second, and do this end third. So what you're doing is you're controlling your heat. Because if you tack here and tack here, what's going to happen is her leg's going to spread open. All right? She's going to open up like a clam. Whoop. So what you want to do is you want to tack here, and then tack in the middle. All right? Then when you do your other tacks, what you want to do is you want to do a tack, and then you want to do a tack. 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 You want to do a tack, 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 tack. See what I'm saying? And you just keep jumping around. And that's going to control your heat as well. And you just keep jumping around. You noticed in the middle that I was alternating sides. Like I would go on this side this way, and then the next one I'd go on this way. You're controlling your heat. So this, what you're doing is you're making your heat go that way, you're making your heat go that way, you're making this heat go that way, you're making this heat go that way, you're making this heat go that way, you're making that heat go that way. And you're controlling your heat. You don't have to squinch it. You don't have to wet a rag. I used to do that. You don't have to do that no more. You don't have to wet a rag and put it on there and cool it down. You don't have to put a damn air nozzle on there. Just let it cool down naturally, right? All right. He don't have a pulse on. We just talking about a Harbor Freight welder, John, flux core. He don't have. Yeah. He don't have a pulse. Yeah, he don't have a pulse. Now, like on my TIG rig, on my Dynasty, my 280 TIG rig, right here, my Dynasty 280 TIG rig, right here, I have a pulse function, right, where I can just and it does it. Right? Could you use an air hose nozzle to collect it quicker? What? Silicone bronze, they say don't use silicone bronze on car parts because it'll fracture. Let's check up on the comments right quick. We're at the 60-minute mark. Always helping out. No, there ain't no cigarettes around here. There ain't no cigarettes around here. Increase the stick out. Yeah, you can increase the stick out too. And what James is talking about is the stick out. Let me turn this around. So you got your nozzle, right? And then you got your tip. Right? You got your tip on the inside, and your wire runs through. What he's talking about is increase your tip, your run out, right? Your stick out. You can do that too, but he's using flux, so you can pull your cap back a little bit to increase your stick out, but you don't. I've always been taught with American Welder Society. Now somebody might know different. Whatever works for you don't work for the next person, but you got to find your happy medium. I know some people that will let their tip stick out just a little bit, right? So you got your nozzle, and they let their tip stick out past their nozzle, and then the wire comes out there, right? I don't do that because the gas, well, in my case, the gas is what shields the weld, right? So if the wire is coming out down here and the gas is up here, then it's already contaminated before it comes out. So I usually keep my tip back just a little bit. Y'all stay out the goddamn gutter. So when the gas comes out, it's already shielding the wire as it's coming out. Right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense with everybody? What happened? Oh, yeah, you can't. Hey, they say you can't fix stupid, but you can fix ugly. Hey, one other thing, I got to do a little bit of digging. Hey, TJ, one last thing, TJ. Now, this ain't got nothing to do with you, TJ, but I got something else I want to tell you, TJ. You still here, TJ? Where are you not? TJ. Oh, okay. All right, you're listening. All right, so I was just curious about something because somebody told me something, and once you tell somebody something, you can't it always kills me. What always was interesting to me when a jury's on it, when you see court stuff and you see a jury on there and they say something and the judge looks over there and says, "Jury, disregard what they said." How are you going to disregard what they said? They've already said it. Once the cat's out the bag, you can't put it back in the bag, baby. You can't put it back in the bag. I mean, once it's out, it's out. I mean, you can't put that. I mean, how are you going to say, "Let me put that back in the bag"? You can't. So with that being said, this is where I'm going with this, right? So somebody texted me and said, apparently, it's crazy what everybody runs and tells daddy. I said it. It's crazy what everybody texts me and tells me. It's like I'm the daddy. It's like I'm like everybody's daddy. I'm going to run and tell daddy. I'm going to run and tell daddy. I'm going to tell daddy on you. I'm going to run and tell daddy on you. So let me tell you what I got told today. Apparently, allegedly, Alabama is slow. Alabama is slow. Now, slowing is in what? Slow is in what? Education, cars, times, the drive-through line, the drive-through at daggone McDonald's. They slow at Walmart. What slow with what, right? Slow, right? So that gets me to thinking, let me do a little bit of research. So I did a little bit of research. Where does North Carolina rank in education from 1 being the best, 50 being the worst? Where does North Carolina lay out on education? North Carolina is number 30 on education. Where is California? 31. Where is Alabama? 43. Who's number 1? I think number 1 is like New Hampshire or something. Somebody correct me on that. New Hampshire or Pennsylvania. And we're going on a road trip to Pennsylvania. So just to let y'all know, so North Carolina is 30 out of 50. California's 31. I think New Hampshire or Pennsylvania, somebody fact check that, who number 1 is. It's either Pennsylvania or New Hampshire, one of the. But Alabama is like 43, and then like West Virginia's down there like 47, 48, and then I can't remember who's last. So, TJ said I'm surprised Alabama ain't 50. So, somebody put that thought in my head, so that's something I've never looked up. So now I've looked it up, so now I know. North Carolina's number 30 in education. California's number 31. Alabama's number 43. I got a friend that lives in West Virginia. He's like 48. And then I think it's New Hampshire or Pennsylvania. I don't know which one it is. Somebody have to fact check me. If it's Pennsylvania, then maybe if Pennsylvania's number 1, when we all go take the road trip to Pennsylvania, maybe we can walk around the neighborhoods and downtown and see if we can absorb some of that information and some of that education, some of that good education, and make us all smarter and come on back down the road when we take that road trip to Pennsylvania. Y'all know we're taking a road trip to Pennsylvania, right? John Buchanan said he's working on us a bus. Yeah, well, Gary, I agree. So, Gary, I agree with you on that. But what they base it on is test scores. So, I'm glad you brought that up, Gary. So, I got to do a little bit more digging. It's brought up on test scores between kindergarten and 12th grade. New England has the best education. Is that on the chart? Is that the one that's on the chart? So, the way they do it, Gary, is they take... Yeah, so Gary, back to your question. What they do is they take test scores from kindergarten to 12th grade, and that's how they rank the numbers. That's how they rank the numbers. Yeah, John Buchanan, you missed it earlier. We need a short bus because we are all taking a road trip to Pennsylvania. Me, 84 Cuddy, Tulu, 87 SS. We're gonna pick up Fly. Whoever else wants to go, we are just as soon as the tickets are ready. We're all gonna take a road trip. John, the bus is gonna have to have a reach hitch on the back because we're gonna either have to pull a trailer up there or rent a U-Haul trailer. We'll probably rent a U-Haul trailer on the way back. We don't want that extra luggage on the way up there. So when we get to Pennsylvania, if we have to rent a U-Haul trailer, we will rent a U-Haul trailer so we can come back from Pennsylvania. So we all going to take a road trip. It's going to be me, Tulu, 84 Cuddy. We're going to pick up 87 SS on the way. We're going to pick up Fly. I think Nathan said he want to ride. He's out towards the coast. And we just all going to take a goddamn... we're just going to take a goddamn road trip all the way to Pennsylvania. But still, yeah. JHBER. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Absolutely no. I'm not disagreeing with that. It was just brought to my attention, so I had done some research. They have statistics for everything. So, North Carolina on the educational level, from kindergarten to 12th grade, North Carolina ranks number 30 in education. Number 1 being the best, we rank 30 out of 50. 50 states in the United States, we rank number 30. California ranked number 31. Alabama's number 43. I think Tennessee is like 23 or 22. 22 or 23, Tennessee. And then you got North Carolina, then you got California, then you got Alabama, and then you got West Virginia, and then you got Alaska. So keep coming, hit Boston. We got any clam chowder in Boston? I'll go, what are we bringing back? Never know. We're going to Pennsylvania first. We're going to go see Chris Fisher. We're going to go see Chris Fisher first in Pennsylvania. We're going to go check him out. And if we can't find nothing there, we're going to keep going. I guess we're going to Boston, Mass. Clam chowder, baby. Clam chowder. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Clam chowder. Yeah, I'm talking about some real clam chowder, too. I ain't talking about that imitation shit. I want that real deal. I want that real deal Lucille. I don't want that imitation. I don't want that fake shit. I want the real stuff. Yeah, don't come out there with all that damn imitation shit. I want the real stuff. Give it to me real. Hey, raw dog, buddy. I want it raw dog. Pennsylvania Dutch country. You should visit that. Hey, man, we can just make it. Yeah. What kind of car is that? 60. That's a 63 Impala. That's a 63 Impala. Yeah, Impala J. What kind of engine you gonna go in that? Lord have mercy. Hell no, we ain't gonna put no 572 crate engine in there. That's what TJ wants to put in his Chevelle. TJ wants to put that 572 in a Chevelle, and right here it is. This is what TJ wants. So if anybody wants to help TJ out, anybody want to help TJ out? This is what my guy TJ wants right here. TJ wants this right here. This ZZ 572, 700R, 727 Deluxe, 727 horsepower, 680 foot-pounds of torque, $22,436.37. That's what my guy TJ wants for his 70 Chevelle right there. Yep. That's what TJ wants right there. Sure is. Yeah, that's a daggone monster right there, boy. Yeah, monster. Monster. All right, boys and girls, I appreciate every single one of you. I've been on here 74 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get these. It'll probably be a couple hours. I'm going to go ahead and get these inner fenders out of these boxes. I'm going to go ahead and get these inner fenders out of these boxes. Go ahead and prep them up. And then we'll come back live. And we'll bedline this side of the inner fenders, and then we'll set them out in the sun tomorrow and let them dry, and then we'll put them back in the car, and they'll be good to go, and it's half as dusty. We'll flip it over, and then we'll paint the top sides under hood black, and then what we'll do is before we put them in there, I'm going to finish up this, clean all this up, tape all this up, and then we're going to paint the firewall under hood black. And then the tops of the inner fenders are painted under hood black. And then we'll bolt the inner fenders in. And then we'll be good to go. And then the engine mounts are supposed to be here. I think it's supposed to be here today. I hadn't heard nothing from AutoZone. But as soon as the engine mounts come, we're going to take the engine. We're going to pull the fuel injection off. We're going to pull the fuel. Spit it out, Jay. Ain't nobody going to take it from you. We're going to pull the fuel injection off of the top of the engine. We're going to put the carburetor plate on there. We're going to pull this off, put the carburetor plate on there, take the hoist, take the engine hoist, pick up the engine, set this bad boy in the hole. Be good to go. It's half as dusty. And then we'll start putting this thing in there. And then the torque converter's ordered, and new torque converter bolts and new torque converters ordered. And then what we'll do is we'll fill up the torque converter with transmission fluid, and then we'll put the detent cable in. Oh yeah, that's something else I got to order. Order the detent cable for the transmission. We'll lube up the shaft. He said lube up the shaft. We'll lube the shaft up. We'll put the torque converter on, and then we'll get this bad boy, and we'll put the transmission in after we put the engine in, and then we'll put a new cross member and a new cross member bushing or transmission mount. And then that engine will be in the hole, be ready to go, and she'll be nice and pretty. And then we'll just go from there. It ain't raining here. We need some rain. We need some rain. We need some rain. All right, boys and girls, I appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Y'all see I let a little bit of that air out of them front to come on down. Remember what I said, boys and girls, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. We on our way to 10,000, boys and girls, and I appreciate every single one of you. Remember what I said, boys and girls, don't worry about the man up the road or down the road. Sweep off your own front porch while sweeping off anybody else's. But God first said, loose and drag, some chicken grease them out.